Don't ever underestimate the heart of a champion.
This is the Legends 34 Sports Podcast with your hosts, k-rino and DJ Rec.
Legends 34 Sports Podcast with none other than k-rino and DJ Rec. We're doing it here on Zoom again. We got a big announcement this Thursday coming up. We're going to have Richard Johnson from the Luv Ya Blue days of the Oilers. And I know we got a bunch of questions to ask him, okay?
No doubt about it, man. He's one of the OGs from the old Columbia Blue, the Houston Oilers, man. You know, we still got that Oilers blood running through our veins. So him being one of the last to have that uniform in this city, yeah, we got a lot to talk about with the OG Richard Johnson.
Right, let alone what we all discovered getting ready for this show. All the amazing things we stumbled upon, really going to make for a good show. But let's get to the meat and the potatoes here, and that is going to be the NBA draft lottery that just happened.
Yeah, man.
And the Rockets pulled out the magic. I mean, it's not a deep draft, admittedly, this year, but as you can see, not just us, but some other cities are very happy last night. Washington, Atlanta included, but we snuck in there at the third pick. What were we predicted at, K? 8 or 9?
Yeah. 9. You got to understand, the Rockets finished 41-41 this year. That's a decent record. That record would have got you in the playoffs in the East. So yeah, from where they were projected, but Utah ended up getting the 10th pick, and I know Utah finished under the Rockets, and so that kind of, according to how I saw some people explaining it, it kind of guaranteed the Rockets into the top 4, which I don't know how it happened. I just know that we were in position because of the Harden trade and the pick that we got from the Nets. So that 2024 pick that was supposed to be the Nets pick, you know, it ended up falling to us because of the Harden trade. And then, bim, bam, boom, we number 3. And I didn't even know. I got a phone call from my dad, shout out to LV, and he was like, how you feel about the number 3 pick? I was like, what you mean, last year before last one?
Right. Well, like, what you talking
about? But like you said a minute ago, it is a weak draft according to what we're seeing, and there's not the fancy names that have been there the last few years. But if you can get the number 3 pick, it don't matter what year or how weak the draft is supposed to be, you take that number 3 pick.
Yeah, I agree. And at that high of a pick, you're going to hopefully get some of the better players in the draft. But there is a dilemma. Before we get into this dilemma, I do want to mention that number 3 pick was from Brooklyn in the James Harden trade.
Right.
So that definitely paid dividends. Again, the whole James Harden, how we traded away, you know, all these prospects, all this draft for James Harden at the time was a questionable deal. I mean, what were your thoughts at the time?
Well, my thoughts at the time, I remember vividly. I wanted us to get some impact players that could help us now. I wasn't in the mood for like a rebuild or to go through what we've been going through the last few years. I wasn't down with that. So the names that were being thrown out at the time of the James Harden trade were Jared Allen, the center, Karis LeVert, Dinwiddie, those guys like that, who had actually formed a cool little nucleus in Brooklyn, a surprising little nucleus. So I was like, man, yeah, you give us those 3, y'all can have Harden. But when it came down to the picks, I was like, okay, we rebuild it now. We rebuild it. So they got a 2022, which who did that 2022 turn out to be? Did that turn out to be Şengün? No, I don't think. But they got a 2022. They got a 2024, which is where they at now, and they also got a 2026.
I want to say Easton.
You know, well, I don't know.
I don't know. I got back to look.
It's somebody on that roster though. It's somebody on that roster.
Right.
But they got a 2026, so I guess they just got a year, skip a year, got a year, skip a year, and then got another year. But also, Karis LeVert was in that trade, but they ended up swapping him for Oladipo. Many people might not remember that we had Oladipo for a hot second. So that's how I felt about that pick. But you know, Raphael Stone, he's like the anti Daryl Morey, meaning that Daryl Morey is a guy who more so wants to build and through trades and free agent signs and all that. But Stone is a guy who seems to be more focused on building through the draft. And if you look at all of the draft picks that we've gotten in the last few years, he hasn't missed when you think about it. From Jalen to Sengun to Tari Eason all the way to where we at now with Jabari and Amen Thompson and Whitmore, he haven't missed on these picks. So it's a weak draft, but I'm pretty sure he's doing his due diligence now since yesterday to try to figure out who that pick is going to be.
Right. According to you just do a quick Google search, Houston will now have had a top 4 pick in each of the last 4 drafts. 21, second overall pick with Jalen Green. 22, Jabari Smith Jr.
That was 22.
And then Amen Thompson last year. Now who knows, right? And that's the dilemma we're going to get to, because they are so loaded. You know, most drafts teams are rebuilding and they're trying to get the best player available. But in this particular instance, is that their strategy? Are you really trying to get the best player, or are you trying to fill needs? And, you know, whereas where are those needs? Yeah. I would probably say, you know, anything that strengthens their front court would be a bonus. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I agree with that. I'm watching all these teams that are in the playoffs right now. I'm watching Minnesota, who's starting 2 7-footers, including the defensive player of the year. I'm watching Dallas, who has 2 young athletic rim protectors, 7-foot guys, and Derek Lively and Gabbard. I'm watching OKC with Chet Holmgren, 7-foot rim protector. I want us to get a guy, if we're going to do it through the draft, go out and get one of these 7-foot young guys. I saw a guy, man, and he's not projected to go top 3 to 5. He's projected a little lower than that, but it's a guy for Indiana. His name is Kel'el Ware, Kelel Ware, and he's 7 feet tall, athletic, nice touch around the basket, averaged about 2.5 blocks a game, nice athleticism, going up, catching alley-oops. He's that lob guy that you need. I think he fits right into that mold of like a Derek Lively type of guy that the Rockets could use to match up with some of these athletic big men that seem to be the new wave in the league. So he's not projected to go that high. They're saying get Reed Shepherd, the little guard from Kentucky, but
just him on the screen.
Yeah, man. I like what I saw in this young fella, man. Long, athletic guy, and
like an offensive rebound. All right.
Yeah, runs the floor, blocks shots, and he got a nice little turnaround jumper that he employs from time to time, and run like a deer.
Oh, look at he can pass. Oh boy.
Yeah. That's my guy. Now, like I say, he's not really projected to go that high, but things happen in the draft. Cam Whitmore, talent-wise, shouldn't have went that low. We got him at 20 last year, so I don't know. But you also got a guy, the big guy in UConn, Donovan Klingon, but he's a big lumbering type of guy. He's like 7 feet 280. something like that. He's a big lumbering guy.
He's almost 300 pounds. Yeah, he's a big dude. He got won the title.
Yeah, but I don't want. I want an athletic guy. I want that guy when they put this guy pick and roll and he had to switch out. You could put it. He can guard the wing defenders for a little while and still drop back possibly. And Klingon's a good player, but we need some athleticism. At that position to really match up with all of the teams that we're going to have to eventually start to go through. If we ever make a good playoff push.
Right.
Yeah.
And one of the guys I think that I can find here on this list.
See, because Sar's going first, I think.
Yeah, Alex Scar. Yeah, I think
he's going first.
Might go him or through a trade, which is a whole other discussion. But this gentleman, Matas Bazulis. Did you see this guy? This fire plug, huh?
Nah, I ain't seen him, but how tall is he? He's athletic.
I think he's 6'9", 7 footish.
He's too little, Doug. He's too short. See, if you said 7 feet, he got some skills in there, but I want that 7-foot guy. So when he get down and get he's more like he got guard skills, man. He's like a stretch 4. He nice, but this is more some stretch 4 type stuff.
You remember this player? You remember for Utah? Oh my goodness, why am I saying their name? Karolinko?
Yeah, Karolinko, AK-47.
Yeah, kind of similar maybe. I think he's a little smaller, but
he looks to be a little more skilled than Karolinko too. I mean, and like I say, he's showing a lot of skill, but we need a rim protector. We need a guy.
Yes.
I would prefer to get a guy who may not be as offensively inclined because we got so many guys that can score already, But we need that guy who his mind is not even really focusing on having to have the ball, that when they drive in that paint, because look, if Jabari could turn into something close to that, it'll be okay. But Şengün's not that. He's not ever going to be that defender, rim protector. Steven Adams is not going to be that. We got to get some athleticism in there that's going to be able to block some shots and change some shots.
Well, according to, everybody's going to speculate, but this is the gentleman in the Chronicle.
Yeah.
Favorite to this Reed Shepard for the Kentucky.
Yeah.
Which is kind of baffling because he's a shooting guard. So, I mean,
yeah, he's
the Rockets still looking for that guy, or this is a.
Well, here's the thing. The thing with Reed Shepard is that he shoots about 50-some% from the 3-point line.
Took the words out of my mouth.
The guy, I heard a guy, one of the analysts said that the best way to describe it is that every time he shoots, you feel like it's going in. So that lets you know that he can fire that thing up. But he's 6'3", and although we need shooting, I just don't know if this is a guy we want to get that can help us right now. I mean, I'm looking for something that's going to put us over the top.
Right.
And I think I know what the dilemma is you're talking about, but I'm gonna let you say it. You were talking about a dilemma for the last couple of minutes.
We already got Jalen Green, and he's gonna miss the green line. He's getting your 25, 30 shots a game. So, and then you already got Cam Whitmore, who's behind him, coming off the bench. I mean,
and Van Fleet
only one basketball.
And Van Fleet still likes to shoot.
Yes.
Point guard. Dylan Brooks that's why I say offense is not going. Then you factor in Jabari's 10 to 12 shots. Offense is not going to be an issue, especially a year later while these guys are used to playing with each other. But I thought what you was talking about was basically what's been swirling around too, is the prospect of trading the pick,
right?
Trading that number 3 pick and possibly getting an all-star caliber player from another team, the veteran, to come in that could really kind of bump us up and move us ahead. That's something that in a weak draft like this, in my opinion, should really be considered you got to kind of check the trap and see what's out there, what might make sense, and then see if because if they throw the right name out there, and you got a lot of these disgruntled players that may be ready to move around, all-star players, teams may want to just say, man, you know what, we'll take that pick. And you never know, man. So I'm not opposed to possibly trading that pick if it makes sense, if the package makes sense. What you think about that?
Yeah, who are you going to get in that trade? You know, I mean, there's been rumors, you know, maybe Paul George. I don't know if the Clippers would be willing to take picks at this stage. They got all these veterans, but someone of that caliber.
Yeah, someone of that caliber, but not him. Because I'm gonna tell you, because you know, Paul George, man, he's not exactly hardened in terms of the disappointment, but he close.
Yeah.
Come playoff time, you know, and that bothers me. It's like, dude, if we can get Paul George as a free agent for nothing or something like that, okay, cool. But I don't know if I want to give up a number 3 pick for him, because whose growth would he stunt if he came to the Rockets? You know, he may stunt Tari Eason's growth to a degree. You know, he may
mentor. I have to be fair, or mentor.
Yeah, definitely that. But I'm looking at what's gonna put us. This is what I'm looking at, Doug. I'm looking at what's gonna put us in a position to where on a night like tonight, we watching our team play.
Right.
You know, we watching our team play tonight. You know, like we looking at Dallas and OKC right now. You know, so that's the thing. But I mean, if it would have to come in such a way that it makes sense that we couldn't turn it down. But he's the type of name, but for me, he's not the name that I would want to go after.
I do have another one here of noteworthy. I'm going to share again. And this is a Ron Holland. I don't know if you heard of him. This is highlights from the G League.
Yeah.
And of notoriety here, I guess this is a development that I have not been following. So players can play in the G League first?
Yeah.
Before they're eligible for the draft?
Yeah, absolutely.
And when does this development happen? It's been a few years now?
That you got to understand. That's how we got Jalen Green. Jalen Green didn't go to college. He came.
Okay.
And he played for the G League Ignite. And that's something that they implemented a while back, where, you know, you don't have to just go to college. And Jalen Green played for G League Ignite, came straight to the Rockets. Jonathan Kuminga, the same thing. He played for the G League Ignite. So that's something that's been ongoing for a while, where if these guys don't want to go to college, they can absolutely go to the G League, get a year under their belt, and then boom, 19 years old, next year you draft. But the difference is that when you're in the G League, you're essentially a pro and you're getting paid. You know, so you're in the pros and you're getting the pro-like experience. So it kind of gives you an edge in terms of the physicality of the game and knowing pro sets and all that. And then you could play that 1 year and you in the league.
Yeah, I noticed that this Ron Holland, and there's one or two others that are projected pretty high, and they are already been playing in the G League. So
this is some guys get their feet where they don't want to go to school, and I ain't mad at them, you know, because you coming straight out and you play for G League, you're getting paid. You know, and I know they got NILs and all that in college now, but you know, some guys just don't want to go through. Some dudes don't want to have to go to class and all that stuff, man. You know, like them. It's all to get to the pros anyway. So whatever I'm going to college for and whatever I'm saying is my major and all that, if I'm that caliber of basketball player, hey man, I'm just going through the motions because I've had to all traditionally, but really that's why the one and done thing is so big. I'm playing 1 year and I'm going to the pros. Pay me.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what the Ignite is about.
I have to circle back to something you was talking about, the prospect of them trading, the Rockets trading the pick. Yeah. Like there's already rumors circulating of trading the third pick for Trae Young from the Hawks. We already have Van Fleet.
Yeah.
I mean, is Trae Young that much of an upgrade, or
He's younger. Um, he's younger. Now the thing is, it would depend on how he would fit in with this team because you talk about 20, 25 shots a game. He gets up a lot of shots. He doesn't strike me as more of the distributor that even Fred VanVleet is because Fred like to shoot, but Fred will have games where he'll get you 12, 13, 14 assists as well because to me, he's a better manager of the game, but a guy like Trae Young, and then what would happen to VanVleet? Would he be thrown in a package and sent somewhere? So I mean, those are interesting names, but I just that's not the position that I'm worried about. The point guard position. That's why we talk about Reed Shepherd and all that. I'm not worried about those guards. We got enough perimeter players and guards and all that. We need some size and some athleticism. That's what we need.
If you could hypothetically pick any player or players to insert on the current roster, again, this is hypothetical. I'm just trying to get your mind's eye of what is that piece or pieces they need, like you said, so they can be playing next year. Come May. What's your hypothetical on that? Who is the
one name
besides Wembanyama? Okay.
Oh yeah, no, we gonna deal in what could possibly be the realistic.
I know that's a gimme, right?
Yeah. But the one name that comes to my mind, but it would depend on hypothetically what we would have to give up or what pieces would have to move around. A guy like Durant,
Okay, yeah.
Into this team, because as big as many strides that the Rockets made this season, I still don't see that definitive guy having emerged that he is the guy we look at like that's our go-to guy down the stretch. Şengün started the season off as that and carried it on till he was hurt. But a lot of times, man, if you're not Joker or somebody, it's usually a perimeter guy. It's usually a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Luka or Anthony Edwards, a guy like that who's bringing it home down the stretches of those games. So, yeah, Durant, you never know how the money lines up if it makes sense to even say something like that or how the deals line up. But yeah, I'm looking at a guy like that, an all-star caliber impact guy that you could plug in with this good mix of young guys who are now. You got to look. Jalen's about to be in his fourth year. Şengün's about to be in his fourth year. Jabari's about to be in his third year. Tari, third year. These guys can't necessarily be looked at as these little youngsters no more. You know what I'm saying? They got 3-4 years NBA experience. It's time to make that jump. Got a great coaching staff. It's time to make that jump.
Yeah, it is, man. And next year, I mean, they can't digress. They got to get into the playoffs. Got to steal either the Lakers or Sacramento. One of these got to kick one of these teams out.
Yeah, go to the
Warriors.
Yeah. You got to jump those teams, man. And they coming, but you can't stand pat. Even though chemistry is being built with these guys, I fear losing a couple of them because that's just the nature of the league. Because like I said, we always name these 6 guys. You got Jalen Green, Şengün, Eason, Jabari, Amen Thompson, and Whitmore. I don't want to break none of that up. But realistically, at some point, when the economics kick in, you're gonna lose somebody. But that core right there with the veterans, hey man, but we don't know if we'll have a holiday next year. We don't know if Jeff Green will still be there next year. So it'll be spots that could possibly open up, that could open up for other guys to come in. But it's time, man. It's time to make that jump.
Well, they went out and acquired Dylan Brooks, and I don't know how I was excited about it at the time, but it seemed to pan out okay. But I bring him up because what if the Rockets would go out and get, again, we're talking hypotheticals, a player like Draymond Green, right? The ultimate role player, the ultimate defender, the ultimate sets picks. He's a hard nose. He's the Ron Artest, if you will, of the league at this time, right? If the Rockets were go out and get one of those players, would it make a difference? And I guess I'm defeating my own argument because they did that last season. That's why I'm bringing up Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
Do you think they could upgrade that position, or you like Dylan Brooks where he's at, or you think they could do better?
I mean, you could always do better, but it would have to make sense. It would depend on who it is. I'm not big on bringing Draymond Green down here. If like we this is all hypothetical, y'all.
Right,
so,
right.
I'm not big on bringing Draymond Green down here because his game to me is predicated on having those deadly shooters, around him. Like if he's a great facilitator. Don't get it wrong. He can run your offense, but part of running the offense and getting the result is having the finishers that could get the result. Now the Rockets guys are emerging, but we don't have shooters like this guy's had his whole career, and then the finish doesn't necessarily have to be with a three. I know that, but and plus all the other stuff that may come along with Draymond. We don't need him getting suspended and all that type of stuff, man. Just he gonna compete like crazy and all that, but he wouldn't be a guy that I would bring in, even though defensively, Draymond getting older, man. He getting older. He's not a defender that he was, even though he's still playing on a pretty good level, but not for me.
Well, I'm gonna share the this draft list again.
Yeah.
You see, San Antonio got 2 picks in the top.
Man, I was just about to say, man, San Antonio did well, man. You get 4 and 8. I mean, you get 4 and 8. See, that's kind of like the when the Texans got CJ and Will Anderson and saying, 4 and 8 might be better than just having 3.
Right.
Number 3. So that's pretty strong, for San Antonio, and Pop's been rebuilding. Seemed like a decade now.
Right.
So Duncan and Ginobili and all them left, and that may be still the path that they want to go on, or they may want to trade some of the picks they got in the assets, or some of the current players they got to try to get more veteran oriented.
Right, we'll have to see. And then Portland also got a couple picks in there, but it just seems nothing seems to work out for Portland, man. I don't know whether I feel sorry for them or hey, it is what it is. But
hey, forget Portland. What about Detroit?
Yeah, just
Detroit have been in the bottom record-wise the last 4 or 5 years. They have not picked. They got Cade Cunningham in 1 year. Everything else, they got the 5th pick last year. They had the same record. They had the worst record in the league. And they got the 5th pick this year and had the worst record in the league. So they not even finishing top 3. But I mean, they're not even getting top 3 picks, man. So yeah, Portland is bad, but I wouldn't want to be Detroit for nothing.
No, man. They just seem to sit in limbo, I guess.
But I don't feel sorry for none of these teams, dog. Man, look, man, I'm an unapologetic homer, bro.
Right.
Care about those other teams. Good, fine, good. Because I'm spoiled. We have made the playoffs pretty much every year for almost a decade, and now we haven't sniffed the playoffs in the last 4 seasons. So it's time to get back in the hunt, man. So anybody else that's still down there bathing in the mud, keep bathing.
And if Jalen Green, he seems to, the past 2 seasons kind of starts out slow, and then the second half of the season seems to really get things picked up. But this year, considering, they're kind of all in and the time is now and the coach is, no nonsense.
Yeah.
Jalen starts off slow again. There might be rumors again of them trading him.
Man, and I
hate to say that, but
Now you're right. You 1,000% right. I don't want them to do that, and the reason why is because I'm old school, man. I can remember just the success that teams have had by keeping the core together. It does no good to just um, draft these guys as high as you draft. You get a number 2 pick in the draft, and then in this modern NBA, they just give up on them so fast, man. Where back in the days, you keep those guys. I just named 6 guys. Now, back in the days, the economics was totally different. You could keep those guys together for 7, 8 years, and it could work financially. I know it's different now, but if somehow, man, you're able to keep Jalen and Şengün and Tari Eason and Jabari and all the guys together, they're gonna get good. It's gonna work. It's gonna
Right.
work. With good coaching, and they have good coaching. So, you would have to come with an offer that just was like, oh, okay. OKC would have to just lose their mind and just say, "Hey, we want to give you Shai Gilgeous-Alexander." Then I would say, okay. Or Minnesota would have to say, "Hey, we just want to give y'all Ant-Man and take Jalen Green off your hand." Then yeah, but outside of that, man, let that man develop. We just got through talking about how he didn't go to college. He came straight out of high school to the G. This is the first time in his life he's ever had real coaching, in my opinion.
Yeah, good point.
So let him cook for a little while. Let it marinate. Don't just give up on it so fast, and give it another year. But that's the NBA. You have one bad stretch before February, your name gonna be swirling in the trade talks. So
Right.
I
I
say,
would hope that eventually over time he'll learn that 15-foot, 18-foot range jump shot. Right now, he's kind of a 2-trick pony, right? He's either going to the rack or he's
yeah.
trying to get some separation for a 3-point shot, where that his middle game ain't kind of developed yet. And I hope these seasons to come, we'll start seeing that, man. It'll be harder to defend, let alone facilitate other players.
I've seen flashes of the mid range here and there. He got a little baseline, a little mid range he drops from here and there. I think one of the issues with him in terms of mid range is he has a high arc to his shot. He's like a rainbow, and a mid range shot is a shot that you got to really kind of measure, So that would be something that require a lot of work. But you're right. If he get a mid range, that will also take a lot of wear and tear off of him. You got to watch a guy like Shai. You know what I'm saying? Because Jalen gets knocked on the ground so much driving to the hole. He's always getting hit. A lot of calls don't get called. And if his 3-point shooting, if his shooting is not hot like it was during that one stretch of the year, if he off, now people will say, "Oh, he's slumping. He's playing bad. Let's trade him." Get some mid-range to your game, get a little stronger where you can draw more fouls, and he'll be fine, man. He already is committing to playing better defense. Leave Jaden alone, man. Jaden went out and got him a 40-year-old woman, and he started hooping after that. Leave Jaden alone, man.
The testosterone is a flowing.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, as always, the Zoom is trying to tell us, hey, we got some type of limitation here going on. There's anything
Oh, good.
that I missed
No,
in the NBA draft discussion?
the time was well spent, man. We definitely wanted to get to y'all and make y'all understand that, hey, the Rockets got the 3rd pick. So it's a lot of tough decisions that are getting ready to have to be made. But one thing about it, these are good problems to have. These are
Yes.
good problems to have, because I didn't see us get this. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming at all. So yeah, it's cool. Whether we keep the pick, trade the pick, this can only work out in the Rockets' favor. It can't mess up unless we just fumble it some kind of way.
Right. It looks like we could jump in on a live feed here, just real quick. OKC and Dallas going down to the wire tonight, 98-96.
Man, look.
3 seconds left here.
I'm pulling for OKC. You know how we are with these Texas teams. We don't want San Antonio and Dallas to win nothing. So yeah, so this is it's a crucial moment. And it's big for OKC because they're down 2-1. So if they can hang on, they can win this game and then get back to OKC tied at 2-2. You know,
Right.
This is huge. I see Tyrese Maxey at the game, Dallas native. A lot of that going around. LeBron was at the Cleveland game tonight.
Yeah, I saw that.
All the hometown people coming home. All the hometown people that got eliminated are coming home to watch.
They didn't go fishing, huh? They were going to go spy on these other teams, huh?
Look, the Lakers, the Lakers went fishing. They already back home. They don't came back.
Well, here you got it's like OKC's inbound on the ball. Well, they're up by 2 already. It looks like they're going to foul.
Dallas got a foul.
Yeah.
Dallas got a foul. Yeah.
Anyway, I think we got another 3 minutes here, but I wanted to peep in on the game there. That was cool.
No, that's all good, man.
Again, for those fans, you need to subscribe, drop a comment, tackle up the likes.
Yeah, man. H-Town, stand up, man. We doing this for y'all.
And this Thursday, Richard Johnson, which those of you who don't know, is also the starter of Beatbox Records, which is street military, and a lot of other Klondike Cat, a lot of famous artists of notoriety that he eventually started during his Oilers career. So, but we'll be mostly talking about sports. So,
right, no question about it, man.
But this is Legends 34 Sportscast, and we're going to see you next time.
See y'all later on, man. Peace and hair grease.
Don't ever underestimate the heart of a champion.
The Houston Astros are world champions for the first time in franchise history.
Don't ever underestimate the heart of a champion.